Let's start today seated. Find a comfortable position. I'm on a little bit of height. But before you do that, make sure you have 2 blocks and a strap within reach. That's what we'll use for today. So once you've found the position that you're in, seated, let's begin by taking the sit bones forward and back. Get the spine a little fluid movement, forward and back. And then the next time you come to position your sit bones forward, stay there a moment. Just feel the rounding of your spine, the flexion of your spine, and then go the other way where you're experiencing extension. Feels like opening up the heart. And again, go into the rounded position, flexion. Take your arms out in front. Reach long through your fingertips. And then towards extension, take your arms back. Reach long through the arms, open up your chest. And then rest your hands on your thighs. And continue to go back and forth with smaller movements. So you begin to feel where center might be. And as you slow the movements down, find the place where you feel most comfortable with the sit bones supporting the length of your spine. So go ahead and close your eyes, making it a little smaller still, until it's almost imperceptible, the movement. And then find one spot, decide that that is a spot from which you'll ground your sit bones down, encourage your spine to lengthen all the way up through the crown of the head. And let's take 3 active, conscious breaths, starting with the inhalation, which is expansive. As you exhale, feel your sit bones grounding down, encourage your spine to lengthen. Again, at your own pace, 3 expansive inhalations, releasing on the exhalation. And then after that 3rd exhalation, sit bones ground down, spine lengthens up all the way up through the crown of your head. Let your jaw soften. And take some time to tune into your breath. Take a little time just to watch. And the next time you inhale, again, make the inhalation a little more active, a little more expansive. Exhale, feel your sit bones grounding. Encourage your spine to lengthen up through the crown of your head. Now inhale with expansion. Exhale, sit bones ground, spine lengthens. And then let your eyes open. And let's return to that movement of the spine. So taking the sit bones forward, spine rounds, sit bones back, spine opens. Go ahead and move the hands a few times as you do that. Cultivating that sense of fluidity. Feeling how the movement of one part helps all the other parts move. One more time, rounding, and then opening. All right, and then our legs have been crossed for a while, so go ahead and take your feet out in front, come into Dandasana, take your hands to the backs of your thighs, Press your hands into your thighs, thighs into your hands. Keep your spine long as you extend the legs. Good. And then grab your strap. You might need to bend your knees to do that if you didn't have it right within reach. And hold onto the strap between your thumb and forefinger. Thigh bones ground down. Take your spine up and lengthen. As you do that, take your head slightly back. Get that length. Breathe, lengthen, lengthen, breathe. And then release the strap down as you keep your spine lengthening up. Come to cross-legged again. This time take the opposite leg on top. And now what I'd like us to do is a smaller version of the spine movements, is moving just from the mid-spine, or initiating the movement from the mid-spine. So keeping the pelvis steady. So I call this, when we do it on all fours, I call it the kitten and calf. So that on the exhalation, you round, let your head move, but initiate the movement from the spine. On the inhalation, lift up. Exhalation, round. Inhalation, lift up. And let your hands be very soft, relaxed, so that your shoulders do move, but they move because the spine is moving. You can see me, I'm working towards letting the shoulders not be the initiator of the movement, but receive. So that when I take the spine back, shoulders do come forward. And then when I lift up the chest, the shoulders come back. Listen to that. This is a great thing to do throughout the day, because so many of us are rounding so much of the time. Just doing this little mini movement can have great benefits. Good. All right, and then take your feet out in front again. Wiggle your toes. Grab a hold of the strap. Take the strap up. If you find Dandasana hard to sit in, feel free to bend the knees. Intention is to get a lot of length in the spine here. Be on the front edge of your sit bones. Sit bones ground, spine lengthen, reach up and breathe. Then take the strap on down while you keep your spine long. Go ahead and bend your left knee. Take your right leg out to the side. Reach through the heel. Open and close the toes a few times. And then turn to face the right leg. Lengthen your spine. And hinge forward. Now keep the length in your spine as you hinge. So you're not going to go very far. The intention is not to get the nose to the toes. The intention is to keep your spine long as you go. If you feel a tension in your lower back, don't twist as much or skip this. Right? Twisting and bending is one of the main but it's when people actually get a tweak in their back. It's often when they twist and bend. So we're doing it slowly to teach the body that it's an okay thing to do for most of us. All right, and then let's do the same thing on the other side. Bend the left knee, or right knee, extend the left leg, and turn towards the left leg. On your exhalation, hinge forward. Inhale, you can come up a little bit. You can do that a few times. So there's a little bit of a twist from the belly, a little twist in the spine. Keep the spine long as we go. Good. Then come back up, bend the knee, grab your block. This is a little bit of experiment. This time, instead of thinking about what's going on in your spine so much, I still want you to keep the spine long, but this time I'd like you to focus on reaching for the block and notice if there's a difference. So we're going to turn the belly to the right, take the block to the big toe side of your foot, and as you exhale, go ahead and reach for the block. Actually, take it to the little toe side of your foot and reach for the block. Notice if there's a difference in your experience when you're reaching for something versus when you're just moving, reaching for your own body. And if you do notice something, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Let's come back up. And second side, bend the right leg, take the left leg off to the side. Remember to turn first. Take the block to the pinky toe side of your foot and hinge forward. Reach towards the block. And then come back on up. And one more time, the big movements. Sit bones forward, rounding the back. Reach your arms this time very strongly, shoulder blades away from each other. Come on the front edge of your sit bones, arms behind your back. This time, interlace your fingers. Press your palms in towards each other if that's accessible. But most importantly, reach the arms back and keep the chest lifted. So the shoulder blades. The intention here is to get the shoulder blades to move towards each other. Maybe the arms come up, maybe not. Just to get into that area between the shoulder blades and release your arms. And take your arms up like a cactus. So once they're there, take a look that the right elbow is in line with the right shoulder. And left elbow in line with the left shoulder. Hold that there for a moment. Reach your elbows wide, wide, wide away from each other. Now as you reach your elbows wide away from each other, you don't need to swivel like me, but reach the elbows wide away from each other and then take your hands behind your head. Gently draw your chin backwards. Reach your elbows away from each other. Breathe. Getting a little more length on the side body. Then begin to straighten the arms, extend the arms away from each other. Take up lots of space. Then roll your arms so your palms face up. Take a look at your right pinky finger and reach. Bring your head back to center. Take a look at the left pinky finger and reach. Anytime you feel your shoulders tightening, please take your arms down. Take a rest. We're going to stay up here a little longer. Take your arms lower. Lifting the sternum. And then a few of those kitten and calf, just little movements getting into the shoulder blade area. Turn your head again to the right. Reach through the right fingertip. Back to center. Through the left. Reach through the left fingertip. Back to center. Cactus. Remember, take a break if your shoulders are gripping. Now, begin to tilt. If you're not taking a break, tilt your elbows a little forward. Just a little bit forward. Forearms a little back. Keeping the lift in the sternum. Breathe. All right, and then release on down. Woo, roll your shoulders a few times. And now you've got a little more sensation back there. Come onto your hands and knees for some Scarabasana. So on your hands and knees, spread your fingers gently. Root down the thumb and forefinger, base of the palm. Slide your shoulders away from your ears. Let your head release. And then bring your shoulder blades towards each other and away from each other. Up and down, again, getting into the shoulder blades. Now, I want you to be particularly careful here. Go ahead and look at your right hand and press the base knuckle of your forefinger down. So the knuckle goes down and then lift up on the arm. So you might feel a little engagement in the shoulder blade. And do the same thing on the left. Press down with the base knuckle of your left forefinger, pointer finger, second finger. Lift up with the arms. And then hold that a moment. As you do that, rotate their upper arms so your elbow creases face forward. Let your head drop. We're going to do a few more Scarabasanas with a little more of that focus. Keep that index finger rooted down. Then take your left hand a little bit over to the right so it's right in center. Keep that index finger rooting down. Take your right hand to your sacrum and begin to spiral the chest open. So the shoulder blade is going to shift positions when you create this spiral. Breathe. It's not a big twist Not a twist so much in the hips, just in the upper body. Begin to unwind. Take your right hand down. Same thing to the left. Take your left hand on your sacrum and spiral. And then go ahead, unwind. Keeping the awareness of your shoulder blades. Tuck your toes under and extend your arms for puppy pose. Root down with the hands from the space between your shoulder blades. Look up. And then child's pose. Go ahead and release. Longer exhalation. And time for downward facing dog. So take your arms out in front. Lift your hips up. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees. Take your hips back. Take a moment here. With a lot of length in your spine. Root down with that base knuckle of the forefinger on both sides. Reach your hips back. And then slowly move towards straightening your legs. Take your time. You might want to bend one knee a little bit more. Focus on the length in one calf. And then switch. Going back and forth a few times. And then bend both knees again. And move towards extending the legs without moving the spine. And child's pose. And inhale up to sitting. Come back again to sit with a little height. And come back with that nice long spine. So grab your strap. Keep doing this over and over because it's a great thing to lengthen the spine. Take your arms up. Reach, grounding down to lift up. And then take the strap down. Walk your hands a little closer together. And take the strap back up again. Grounding down to lift up. Good. And take the strap on down. Put it off to the side. We'll use it again, but not yet. Let's come into a twist, but a twist where we twist a little bit more in the belly. So that you to take your right leg to the outside of your left thigh, or if that doesn't work, take it in front of your left thigh. Have the foot on the mat. Draw your knee in towards your chest. And take a moment, feel the shoulder blades, that space between them. Keeping the spine long. On your exhalation, begin to spiral to your right. And then as you spiral, press your left hand a little more actively into the knee and keep the left shoulder down the back. That's going to firm that shoulder blade. Take your right hand behind your back. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, spiral. Take your time. If it feels appropriate, you might wrap your left arm around a little more. Take you a little deeper into the twist. Keep the spine long. Take your time. Encourage there to be movement in the mid-spine. Right? Certain parts of our spine do twist more than others, but we can bring a little twist into the whole spine. Go ahead and turn your head. And then extend the right arm. You look at the pinky finger. Reach through your right pinky finger. Roll your right arm so the palm faces up. Feel that shoulder blade move there. Then place the right hand back onto the ground. Turn your head to the left. Inhale. And turn the head to the right. One more inhalation. On your exhalation, go ahead and unwind. Back to a moment cross-legged. Feel the effects of the twist. And then second side. Take your left leg in front of your right, and then either the left foot in front of the right shin or to the outside of your right thigh. Hug the knee. Feel the shoulder blades. Inhale. On your exhalation, spiral. Use the hands against the knee to firm the shoulder blades. As you go further, you might feel that if you wrap your hand around the knee, that will help you experience a twist a little higher up. Arm into leg. And then take your left arm on up. Roll the left arm so your palm faces up. Look at the left pinky finger. Reach. And then place your left arm on down. Keep your spine long. Turn your head to the right. And then turn your head back to the left. One more inhalation. On the exhalation, unwind. Good. And then extend your legs. Wiggle your toes a little bit. And come into Baddha Konasana for a moment. Hold on to the feet. And then Upavista Konasana. Take your legs wide. Wiggle your toes a few times. Sit bones ground, spine lengthen. And then like we did that hinging before, go ahead and hinge forward. Be on the front edge of your sit bones. Don't worry about how far you go, but how long can you keep your spine. You might take your hands out in front. Breathe with this. Take your time. And then come back on up. And bend your knees. Find your strap. We're going to lie on down on your backs. If you want or need or find useful have something under your head, please place a lift under your head. And extend your legs. Take a nice breath into your belly and then let it go. Take the strap between your thumb and forefinger. Take your arms up and over. And then reach your arms back. And then bend your right knee into your chest. Take the strap around your right foot. Extend your right leg. Press your foot into the strap. Strap into the foot. And just classic Supta Padangustasana. Bring your shoulder blades firm. And then move your leg around a little. Explore different positions, different ranges of motion. And then do a little rotation, external rotation with the leg, exploring different ranges of motion again. And then internal rotation. Ooh, that one gets me in the outer thigh. Right, internally rotating the leg and then crossing over through center, generally the IT band. It holds things together, so it's good we have some tightness there. All right. And then release. Feel the legs next to each other. Oh, my right leg is longer. Feels that way. Second side. Bend the left knee. Take the strap around the foot. Extend the leg. Foot into strap, strap into foot. And move the leg around. And then rotate the leg, the external rotation, and explore the range of movement. I know classic yoga, they always have you hold this position, but I'm finding I really like finding different spots. And then I might hold the spot for a while in one spot, but at different angles. All right, internally rotate. Ooh, I feel the outer thigh here. And then release. Take a moment. And go back to the first side. Bend the right knee. Swing the strap around the right foot. Extend the right leg. Take both ends of the strap now into your right hand. Externally rotate the right leg. And bend your right elbow so you can put your right forearm on the floor. Go slow. Take your leg out to the side. Supta Pangustasana 2. Take your time. Find a position that feels right for you. We're going to hold. And then bend the right knee and bring the left leg back. Right belly back up. Release the leg. Second side, left knee to chest. Wrap around the left foot. Extend the left leg. And take the leg out to the side. And then slowly bring the left leg back up. And bend the knee. Right. Take the strap off to the side for a moment. Bend both knees. We'll do a little Elvis twisting. So start with your hands on your belly. Take your right knee a little bit over towards the left foot. And feel what happens in the belly when you just go a little bit. And then move the left knee up towards the right foot. Let the right knee go off to the side. And go back and forth at your own pace a few times. And then begin to make the movements a little bigger. And as you do that, take your arms out to the side. And as the movements get bigger, let that reverberate along your spine. Keep your shoulders on the floor though. You might find that you want to turn your head the opposite direction of your knees. Go ahead and do that. Let that happen. And the next time you take your knees to the right, keep them there. Lengthen through the top of the left thigh. You might even take your hand to the top of your pelvis and create a little length, the left side of the waist. Slide it down to the top of the thigh. And then bring your knees up. Same thing, other side. Lengthen through the top of the right thigh. Long reach through the arm. And bring your knees back up. All right. And then let's do a little Tetrasana. We're still going to do a little on the floor, but I think let's wiggle around a little first. Come on up any way that works for you, either puppy pose or downward facing dog. Maybe it's a little different than the first one. Your choice. Yeah, mine definitely feels a lot different. Body feels a little more ready to be a little more fluid and pliable. Just move around in whichever position you choose, puppy or dog pose. You know, puppy you can't move as much, but you still can have a little movement in the arms, the shoulders, the spine. And then come back down into child's pose. Right, come up to sitting. To grab your strap, lie down on your backs again. And this time, take your 2 blocks to the left side of your hip at arm's length. So arm's length away from your left hip. And then bend your right knee into your chest. Take the strap around your right foot. Extend your right leg. Take both ends of the strap into your left hand. Take your right arm out to the side. And go ahead and look at your right pinky finger and reach. Breathe. Then bring your head back to neutral. Internally rotate your right leg and keep the reach through the right arm, but do not come into a twist as you take your right leg a little bit over to the left. So you probably won't have to go very far to feel some restriction on the outside of the leg. It can be a little intense, so allow yourself to feel that. Come back up. Bend the right knee, release the leg. And second side. Left knee, take the strap. Internally rotate, left arm to the side. Take the left leg a little to the right. Oh, I forgot. Go ahead, turn to look at your left pinky finger. Reach to the left pinky finger. Then bring your head back to neutral. Good. And then take your left leg a little to the left, keeping the pelvis neutral on the floor. Breathe. And then bring your left leg up. Bend your left knee. Release the left leg. All right. First side again. This time we'll use a block. So bend your right knee into your chest. Take the strap around your right foot. Take both ends of the strap into your left hand. Take your right arm out to the side. And then begin to take your right leg over to the left. As you do that, you will turn a little onto the outer edge, onto the left side of your pelvis. Allow yourself to turn there. And then you might find that your rib cage gets a little stuck. So press down with your left elbow. Lift your rib cage up to bring you a little deeper into the twist. So this is a very full body twist. You might feel it in a lot of different places. Stay breathing. And then to unwind, bring your head back to neutral. Bend your right knee. Unwind. Place both feet on the floor. And then take the blocks over to the other side. Whoops. Try to be fancy, it didn't quite work. So left leg, bend your left knee into your chest. Take the strap around your left foot. Extend the leg. Foot into strap, strap into foot. Both ends of the strap into your right hand. Begin to take the left leg over to the side. So I like to put it under my foot, wherever it lands. If you find that your shoulder comes off the floor, you might want to have the blocks a little higher. And then press down with the right elbow. You can maybe see it better on this side. If you want to take a look, take a moment. Press down with the elbow. Lift the rib cage to draw you a little more into the twist. And breathe. And then to release, unwind your head, bend the knee. Good. And again, Tetrasana. Move your arms and legs around different directions. Maybe let's cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Move around a little with that. And switch sides, left ankle over the right thigh. Move around a little with that. And then roll over to your side. Come on up to sitting. Let's take a moment back in Upavista Konasana. Take your legs wide again. Reach through your heels. Sit bones ground, spine lengthens. Again, hinge forward. Take your time. Breathe with what you feel. And then inhale, come up. And spiral from the belly towards the right leg. Keep the left leg firm on the floor and hinge forward. Just a little bit. Come back up. From the belly, spin to the left. And again, hinge forward. And then come back up. And bring your legs together. Let's do a few of those kitten and calf. Rounding the spine and lifting. And then transition onto your hands and knees, onto all fours. And do the same thing there, kitten and, let's do a few kitten and calf. From the back, rounding, and then opening up in the chest. And then downward facing dog. Lift your heels, take your sit bones up and back. Reach your heels towards the floor. And then bring your feet forward between your hands. And inhale, come on up. Roll your shoulders a few times, up and around. Good. Mountain pose, feet grounding, spine lengthening, hips over heels. Bring your palms together over your heart. As you press the palms in towards each other, lift the sternum up towards your thumbs. Then come back into the cactus. Take your arms out to the side. From the space between the shoulder blades, look out over your right elbow. Back to center. Look out over the left elbow. Back to center. Again, over to the right. Over to the left. Back to center, arms out to the side. Reach through the pinky fingers. Turn your head to the right. Look at the right pinky finger and then tilt the pinky finger a little bit to the right and move the wrist a little to the right. So you lengthen the whole kind of wrist, pinky finger side of your right forearm. Try not to tilt the head. I just caught myself doing that. Come back to center and turn your head to the left. And reach through the left pinky finger, tilting the pinky finger a little bit to the left. Lengthen that side of the forearm. Maybe your arms are getting tired after being here for a while. Cactus again. And then release. Let's roll the shoulders up and around. You can wiggle your jaw a little side to side as you roll your shoulders. And then the same thing we were doing sitting in all fours, a little bit of the kitten and calf. Now if you feel you're getting good at this, go ahead and do it while you go around in a circle. And then try circling the other way. And then take a moment standing again. And let's do a little bit for the eyes. So we're going to draw the big H. Bring your fingers together in front of your eyes. If you know that one side works better for you, just do one side. Otherwise, do both sides. I'll just show you quickly. If you're not familiar, we're going to take one hand and draw one side of an H, side, up, down, back lateral, back to middle, and then the other side. I'm going to do the same side because I know one side works better for me. But try both or try one, depending on what feels right for you today. So you take the finger out to the side, then lift it up, then lower your finger, so be careful not to move your head as you do this. Back out lateral, and back to center. Okay, and then second side, or second time, same side, take the finger out to the side, take it up, take it down, take it middle, and center. All right. Then we'll practice tree pose. So go ahead and bend your right knee. As you do that, give yourself a little support. Remind that left hip, the left glute to be activated. Right. Some of you have seen galvanize your glutes. There's a few other videos about glutes, waking them up. So, sometimes I like to focus on one thing and then in a class and then bring that awareness into other things that we do. So today we're doing a lot of spinal fluidity to help build some standing poses. That's what's coming next. But first, rocking the hip and hip openers, of course. That's what we did earlier. And then keep the hip open. Take your foot to the calf. Root down with the left leg. Lengthen up with your spine. And take your foot either above or below the knee. Palms together. Now remember not to sink here. Lift up. Option to stay here or take your arms on up. Option to stay here or take your arms out to the side. Reach from the sternum out through the pinky fingers. Option to stay here or be like the cactus. Option to stay here or turn your head one direction and the other direction. And then bring your palms together. And then release, stand on both feet. Find that mountain pose again. And second side. Give a little reminder to that right hip. Rock the left leg a little back and forth. Keep your hip points steady. And then take your foot below or above your knee. Palms can be together. Maybe the arms come up. Maybe they come out to the side. Maybe they come like a cactus. Head to the right. Head to the left. Interesting balance challenge. It is more challenging for the balance when you move your head around because you're adding all that vestibular input, the input of the inner ears changing. Bring your palms together. And then release. So a little shake, a little shimmy, and a few hip circles. 3 fairly big ones to the right. And then 3 to the left. Good. And then grab your 2 blocks. Place them out in front. It's time for big asana. Arms wide, legs wide. Bring your hands to your hips and hinge forward. Thigh bones press back, spine lengthens forward. Right, and then you're going to bend your right knee. Keep your left foot just where it is. You're going to need to really root down the outer edge of the left foot for it to stay there. And then come back up. And same thing. So when we're going to go side to side, but in really encouraging the outer edge of the foot to stay stable. So go back and forth at your own pace. You might feel some sensations in the outer leg or the inner leg. And you might take note that there's two main ways you can go side to side. You can lift up. I'm going to exaggerate, like my hips are lifting up and down. Or you can go side to side, making the movement just from the legs and the hips not lifting. Choose whichever one. For today, importance of going side to side. All right, and now come back to straight. Walk your hands as far forward as they will go. Get a lot of length in your spine. And then walk your hands back. And we're going to take this into a lunge. So turn your left leg in. Walk the blocks with you. Turn your right toes out. So you come into the lunge. Reach long through the back heel. Keep the shoulder blades down the back. Can you find a little kitten and calf here? And then come back over to the other side. Turn the right toes in, left toes out. Reach through the back heel. Little kitten and calf. And then back to center. And bend your knees. Inhale, come up, walk your feet together. Mountain pose. Hips over heels. Okay. Now grab your two blocks and we're going to put this together for triangle pose. So I want you to come up on tall, high. So take the two blocks so it's very high. First triangle pose, we're going to do it very high. To get a feeling of the pose and moving the body, not trying to get down to the ground, but trying to find a connection throughout the whole pose while keeping fluidity in the spine. So left leg turns in, right leg turns out. Bring your hands onto your hips and just shift your hips to the left so the upper body goes to the right. And then come back up. So this time when you do that, engage this left hip a little bit. Come back up. Let's do it 2 more times. So I was looking at, there's a chicken roaming around out there. One I don't remember seeing before. So reach your hip out and hold for a moment. Keep this engaged. You might feel that in order to do that, you need to twist the spine a little. Okay, come back up. Now we're going to add on the arms and go a little further. So on your inhalation, nice full breath. And then take your left hand onto your sacrum. Hinge like we did before, but go a little bit more and bring your hand onto the block. So still staying up very high. Even if you can go lower, stay up high. Press your palm into the block and spiral your spine. Keep that long engagement the right side. Take your left arm on up. And then release. As you're here, can you just a tiny, tiny bit of kitten and calf. Just a tiny, tiny bit. All right, and then press down with the back leg. Inhale, come up. Walk your feet together. And instead of having to move the blocks, go ahead and turn around. Actually, you have to move the blocks a little bit, but not too much. I'm going to try to keep them in center for next time. And other direction. So take your legs wide again. Left leg, right leg comes in, left leg comes out. And take your hips over to the... So if I'm turning around, you're seeing me doing my right side. I'm not mirroring you anymore. So I will shift, stay on the side that you're staying on. But I don't need to turn around. You needed to turn around. So I want you to be able to see me. So hips going a little back and forth. And then hold. Engaging back here, reminding this area to support you. Then come back up. Take your arms up. And as you shift your hips again, reach the arm long and take your hand onto the blocks. The block should be on the little toe side of your foot. Press your palm down, spiral the spine open. Take your right arm on up. Breathe. You can turn to face the right arm if that feels good. If not, do not do that. All right, and then to come up, let's find the movement in the spine first. So rock a little, just a little bit, the kitten and calf. And then root down the back leg. Inhale, come up, turn the left leg forward. Bring your feet together. Mountain pose. And then take the blocks wherever they are. I'm going to try to be a little more clear with the block movement, but take the blocks. So thank you for your patience with that. So they were going to do triangle pose again. Move that out of the way. Triangle pose again. This time, if you want to go a little lower, you can, or just use less blockage, you can do that. But please don't overdo. So left leg in, right leg out. Take your arms on up. Shift the hips. Lengthen the whole right side. Keep the left side long. Take your left hand to your sacrum and hinge to the block, keeping the spine long. So now as you hinge, there is a concomitant twist. That's the thing about triangle pose. You might rearrange, find the good position for your leg. Take the arm on up. Breathe. Make any slight adjustment. Sometimes I like to bend the front knee, use that to feel into my spine a little bit more, and then re-extend the leg. And then to come up, root down with the back leg. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release your arms. Turn your right leg forward. Walk your feet together. And then, so you don't have to move the block, turn around and do the same thing on the other leg. So now you do your left leg. I'm moving the block because now I'm not mirroring you anymore, but you don't need to move the block. So, checking this is on. Right leg in, left leg out. Take your arms on up. Shift the hips. Take your right hand onto the sacrum. Keep that length on the left side. Hinge to the block. As you hinge, there's a concomitant twist. So you hinge and twist at the same time. And then take your right arm on up. And then to come up, ground down with the right leg. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release your arms. Turn the left leg forward. Walk your feet together. Take a moment, mountain pose. And then find your two blocks. Bring them out in front. Take your legs wide. Arms wide. Take a moment. Bring your hands onto your hips. Hinge forward. Start with your hands on the block. And then, if it feels good for you to release your spine towards the floor, go ahead and do that. And then with your next inhalation, come back up. Hands to your hips. Walk your feet together. Ooh. Mountain pose, a few kitten and calf. So that was triangle pose. If you recall when we did the leg stretches, that's very similar to Supta Padangusthasana 2, where you take your leg out to the side. Now we're going to do that third hip stretch we did, which is very similar to revolve triangle. So this time we're going to keep the blocks all on one side. Take both blocks to the middle of your mat. Stand with your right foot, right big toe, the blocks close to the right big toe. And take your left leg back. Reach long through your back leg. Take your hand to the top of the left thigh, lengthen, and then reach your left arm on up. And on your exhalation, begin to hinge forward. Long reach through the back leg, place your left hand onto the block. Lengthen the spine forward, and then begin to spiral the spine. Encourage the hips to stay even. If it feels appropriate for you to take your right arm up, go ahead and do that. Good. And then unwind. Root down with the back leg. Inhale, come up. Turn your right toes in. Walk your feet together. Second side. So now take your left foot by the blocks, take your right foot back. So it's a little smaller, narrower stance than triangle pose. Your shoulders are facing the same direction as the block. Right hand on the sacrum, left arm up. Begin to hinge. As you hinge, spiral. Spiral to your left. Breathe. And again, if it feels appropriate, if it feels good and connected, take your left arm up. If it continues to feel good and connected, you might look at your left arm. One more inhalation. On your exhalation, unwind. Root down with the back leg. Inhale, come up. Again, walk, turn the left leg in. Walk your feet together. Back to mountain pose. A few kitten and calf. We invite you to do this one more time, and if you want to do it lower, take away one of the blocks or make the block a little bit of a half level, your choice. So this time, we'll start again with the right foot forward, left leg back. This time I'm going to do the same, my right foot forward, left leg back. Right hand on the sacrum, take the arm on up, hinge and spiral. Now this time, can you feel a little bit of the kitten and calf? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And let that bring you a little more fully into the spiral. Take your arm on up. Breathe. And then unwind. Root down with the back leg. Inhale, come up. Turn the front toes in. Feet together. One more side. Sounds like there might be a storm a-coming. Left foot forward, right foot back. Shoulders facing forward. Left hand on the sacrum. Right arm on up. And begin to hinge and twist. Again, I'm not going to do it on this side, but if it feels appropriate, take your left arm on up. Turn the head to the left. One more inhalation. Exhale, unwind. Ground down with the back leg. Inhale, come up. Turn your right leg forward. Walk your feet together. Stand in mountain pose. Find your two blocks. Take your legs wide. And hinge forward. As you hinge, walk your hands forward. Lengthen through your spine. An option to stay here, or again, take your spine towards the floor. And to come up, bend your knees slightly, bring your hands to your hips. Come on up, walk your feet together. Last time, mountain pose. Let your jaw soften. Gently guide your breath. And then bring the sense of flow. Maybe flow with the bamboo. Make your way down, down, down to the ground. All right, and then grab your strap. And lie on your back. Take a moment. And then extend your left leg. Bring your right knee to your chest. Take your right foot up and away. Foot into strap, strap into foot. Take a moment, any variation that feels good for you. It might be a leg out to the side. It might be the leg just where it is. I'm going to take my leg to the side. You choose. And then finish up on the first side. And the knee. And second side. Bend the left knee into your chest. Take the strap around your left foot. Extend the leg. Take both hands into the strap. Take your left leg out to the side. And then come back on up. If that's what you chose to do, I did say in the first side have different options. Sorry about that. All right, release the leg. Put the strap off to your side. And let's do a gentle twist. So go ahead and lift your hips, shift them a little to the left. Reach your arms out to the side slowly. Take your knees to the right. Let your spine spiral. And next inhalation, bring your knees up and over to the other side. And bring your knees back up. And extend your legs out onto the floor. Take your arms by your side. Make yourself comfortable or prepared for Shavasana. Roll your arms so your palms face up. Close your eyes. Watch your breath. Let the breath guide you to Shavasana, to relaxation. And then slowly and gently bring your awareness back to your body and back to your breath. Bring a little movement to your fingers and to your toes. Reach a little through your arms and through your legs. And then bend your knees, roll over to your side. Use your hands to come on up to sitting. And then bring your palms together over your heart. And may the practice inspire the body, the mind, the spirit to enjoy length and strength and mobility and flexibility and alacrity and ease and all of those things, so that ultimately we can move better and feel better. Namaste. Okay, thank you. This was longer than some of the ones I've been doing lately. Intention was to be able to open up parts of the body to build into those standing triangle poses without hardening and with a sense of fluidity. And it seemed like those hip openers and the spine movements are really good preparations for coming into those standing poses. So sometimes in some classes we just jump right into standing poses. I haven't been doing that kind of practice for a while because I find it really beneficial to focus on some of the different components of the poses before jumping into them. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So thank you for watching. Aloha.